Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, welcome to another episode, another edition of Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. I'm your host, Manager Marty, and usually when I come on, I say that's a little introduction to get everybody in the classroom at the same time. Come on in. Before you have a seat, grab a plate. I have some food that I want to serve you. Come on in. I welcome each and every one of you live and living color. If you're watching the replay of this live, I welcome you all over the world. Good morning on the West Coast. It's about 6:10 in the a.m. on the East Coast, 9:10 in the a.m. All over the world. It's evening in some countries, and we're all here live and living color. And while I have you all here, I want to play the hottest ring announcing intro in sports history. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure y'all was here first. Come on in. We're going to get to Devin Haney responding. And Turki Al-Sheikh. Come on in. Yeah, come on in, y'all. Yeah, leave the door open for the person behind you because class is in session today.
The man that I'm about to introduce is a man who wears many hats. He's known as a breath of fresh air in the YouTube boxing community. His voice has become one of the loudest voices in the community for his controversial but factual perspectives. Boxing fans all around the world recognizes him for his knowledge, credibility, credentials, and integrity in the business of boxing. He is the founder of the nonprofit organization named Dads Overcoming Losses Living Above Reproach Incorporation. He is certified as a credit counselor, tax practitioner, experienced full-time entrepreneur, trained as an amateur boxer, and licensed as a boxing manager in multiple states in the country. He is the author of these words. You're going to need to get you a pair of these. The viewership is increasing exponentially. He is the author of these words, Roll the Tape, Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, I introduce you to the undisputed, undefeated, hottest manager on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Manager Marty.
That's all I wanted y'all to hear. What up? Hey, Bill! Wanted to ask Bill Haney some more questions this morning. Come on in, have a seat. Come on in. Yeah, come on in. I might just throw the link out at the top of the chat. I might. We'll see. Had to show my face this morning. I might. Want to play an audio from Coach Malachi's platform. I don't even know the name of the platform, but Coach Malachi. Shout out to my man Lucky, who sent me the clip and wanted me to hear what Bill Haney said on Coach Malachi's platform. Now, some of you all were here a few weeks ago when I picked up this very phone right here. And I called Coach Malachi on the phone. Y'all remember that? Live, too. Unrehearsed, unscripted, unexpectedly. I called Coach Malachi, his podcast, his show. I called him. And I asked him about Bill Haney being over there. I figured, since Bill Haney was over there, and Bill Haney used the terms and words and the statement, I'll go on anybody's platform. That's what Bill Haney said. I'll go on anybody's platform, no matter if it's a small YouTube channel or not. I'll go on the platform. I'll go on the panel. That's what Bill Haney said. So I figured since Bill Haney put that out there, he won't come over here and click the link. So I figure, this is before he actually came over here in the chat, by the way, just so y'all know if some of y'all are late to the party and don't know what happened. And so I called Coach Malachi, his podcast show. Basically, I said, look, I heard Bill Haney was over there saying he'll go on small channels on YouTube. He'll go on the panel. He'll talk. Next time you talk to him, tell him I'm looking for him. That's why I wanted to show my face when I say this part right here. Yeah, I wanted to show my face to you all. Bill, hey, Bill, I just want to talk to you. I have some questions for you. The Roll the Tape film crew members, they have some questions for Bill Haney. We all do. There's nothing wrong with having questions, is it? I just wanted to ask him a few questions. I mean, Devin Haney responded. We're going to get to Turkey in a minute. Devin Haney responded, not to me. They won't respond to me for some reason. You know what's interesting about that? I've been talking about SNAC, Victor Conte, VADA testing, the procedures of VADA testing. I had Victor Conte here, as you all know, not once, but twice. Had him here. Had Tim Montgomery here. Most of you saw the Netflix documentary, Untold Hall of Shame, right? Had Tim Montgomery here talking to me one-on-one. Interviewed him. Who else? The founder of VADA was one of the founders. Because, Victor Conte said he was also involved in helping find VADA. Not him. I'm talking about Dr. Margaret Goodman, the former licensed ringside physician and neurologist of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. And now she's the founder of VADA. I had her over here as well, and I interviewed her. So I had certain people with credibility and knowledge of how PEDs work, how the testing procedures work with VADA, their expectations. I had Victor Conte over here. I mean, the list goes on and on. So this is not the first time I'm speaking on it. But I figured since I'm speaking on it, why not those same individuals and people that are associated with them, why they don't respond to me? I'm not asking so that I can receive attention. I think everybody that knows me professionally and personally know I am not an attention seeker. However, with that being said, I'm asking legitimate questions and I'm making legitimate statements. And you would assume that people of their caliber, with their knowledge and expertise and experience too, would respond to little old me. But there is a few reasons why they will not respond to me. And this is why I have the hashtag say my name. That's all they have to do is say my name. But they won't say my name. They'll say everybody else's name. But they won't say my name. And I know why they won't say it. It only takes one person to say my name. It only takes Vada to say my name. It only takes Victor Conte to say my name. It only takes Bill Haney to say my name. And it only takes all of the SNAC fighters, Terence Crawford, all the way down to the top #1 SNAC fighter, the golden boy of SNAC, the brainchild of Victor Conte, Devin Haney. It only takes one of them to say it. And then I believe the dialogue will then happen subsequently. Speaking of Devin Haney, I want to put something on the screen as the air fryer is warming up and the viewership is increasing exponentially. I want to put something on the screen because Devin Haney responded. He clapped back, not at me, but he clapped back at someone else. I'm going to read to you what the original tweet was of the person. I don't know who the person was, of course, of the person who made a comment regarding Devin Haney. And what you see on your screen is Devin Haney's response to it. Okay? So, I want to make sure I read the name correctly. Raging Babe. That is the name of the X, formerly known as Twitter account, who made a statement about Devin Haney. This is what the comment said from Raging Babe. Oh, wow. I quote, oh, wow. A fighter showing off jewelry. Groundbreaking. Are we still supposed to be impressed by this? All I see is mid-tier fighters on IG flashing cars and jewelry. It's so corny. Here's an idea. How about impressing us inside the ring? That was what Raging Babe said. And I don't know who Raging Babe is, but that's what Raging Babe said to Devin Haney. Raging Babe was responding to a post where Devin Haney was showing off two expensive watches that I believe he purchased from a jeweler, and he was basically just flashing. Basically, he was stunting. And this was immediately after, of course, the fight that he had with Jose Ramirez on May the 2nd. Here is the real Devin Haney, X, formerly known as Twitter account. And this is what Devin Haney's response is. If you can't look at your screen, this is what Devin Haney said. And I'll read it for you in class that are here live and living color. Let's read it all together. Mid-tier or not, that's your personal opinion. This is a quote from Devin Haney. I'm going to read it again. Quote from Devin Haney. Mid-tier or not, that's your personal opinion. But let's look at accomplishments. I've accomplished what your favorite fighter accomplished, if not more, at the age of 26. First, you had something to say about me having security. Now it's about me purchasing jewelry with my hard-earned money I took punches for. Those were the words of Devin Haney. Double salute to all of the members of the channel and supervisors of the Road to Tape film crew who's here, live and living color watching, and even in the chat. Now, I have a few questions on that. Devin Haney said, let's look at accomplishments. That's what Devin Haney said. He said, let's look at accomplishments. I've accomplished what your favorite fighter accomplished, if not more, at the age of 26. And I got to show my face to say this part because this is as equally as important. Let's talk about accomplishments. I think Devin Haney deserves credit because he is the one, the professional boxer, that put in the work. So he deserves the credit. He put the work in. And he did accomplish a lot, irregardless of his age. He has won world titles, okay? First of all, not only just winning world titles, but he has won world titles in multiple divisions. In fact, Devin Haney also unified world titles, winning all of the major world titles in the sport of boxing in the four-belt era. That shouldn't go unnoticed. Bill Haney, his father, who used to pay for his fights in Mexico, has managed to rub elbows and shoulders, shake hands, and say whatever he needed to say or what he thought he needed to say to get close to the right people for Devin Haney to accomplish those things. With that being said, Devin Haney did not accomplish those things on his own. Don't forget, Floyd Mayweather Sr. did a lot of work with Devin Haney in the gym years ago. That's when Bill Haney was infatuated with Floyd back then. It's before all the money was rolling in for the Haneys. To each his own. Don't forget, Mickey Bay was around helping Devin Haney, training him. Don't forget, Yoel Judah, the accomplished trainer of Hall of Fame fighter Zab Super Judah, was around helping Devin Haney. And there's more people that most people may not know about. I'm sure that I don't know all the people that was around that made a contribution to Devin Haney. But there's one person that nobody talks about when Devin Haney and others have these accomplishments. And I make sure that I speak on it. I make sure that I put it out there. I mean, who else better to do it but me? In other words, why not bring up the man who, to me, was the most instrumental contribution to Devin Haney's accomplishments? I'm talking about his whole career with him. Don't get mad at me. I think most of you know exactly where I'm going with this. I'm talking about Victor Conte. That's who I'm talking about. Victor Conte. You can't talk about Devin Haney's accomplishments. Devin Haney can't talk about Devin Haney's accomplishments. Bill Haney can't talk about Devin Haney's accomplishments without bringing up Victor Conte. Why do I say that? Because Victor Conte is the one who basically created Devin Haney. You don't know what I'm talking about? You ever see Devin Haney in the ring? Huffing and puffing? You haven't? Me either, since he's been with Victor. You ever see him get tired in the later rounds? Gasping for air and fatigue? I haven't. Not since he's been around Victor Conte in the SNAC program. I mean, I haven't. What about the physique of Devin Haney? The body transformation. You don't know what I'm talking about? Sure you do. Go on and look at your screen. This right here. You see, when Devin Haney was with the Mayweather Boxing Club, Floyd Mayweather's gym. Go on and look at his physique. And you know I didn't Photoshop this to some of my detractors and some of my haters and some of my spies. Don't lie on me and say, I Photoshopped this. I am not graphically inclined. I don't even know how to Photoshop. But I know how to screenshot, though. And I screenshotted this. And you know it's from the Mayweather gym because you see in the left corner of your screen, you see the Mayweather logo. TMT logo, right? That Devin Haney before Victor Conte and SNAC. That's him right there. Look at his physique. Then he went from that to hanging around Victor Conte to looking like this. And go on and look at your screen. And then his body transformed to look like this. Go on and look at your screen now. You see them trainers in the background wearing a SNAC shirt, don't you? Right? Go on and look at your screen. Don't get mad at me. To now looking like this. Woo! It doesn't stop there. I told you I don't know how to Photoshop, but I know how to screenshot. Go and look at your screen, please. And then this. Bam! Let me turn my camera off so y'all can really see. There it is. Y'all have a better view. Go and look at your screen. I mean, the man, Devin Haney, looks exactly like Lex Luger. I mean, I used to watch wrestling for decades. And I remember when Lex Luger looked like this. Now, don't get mad at me. I told y'all soon I'm going to play an audio that I have a clip of where Lex Luger himself, a few years ago, was in multiple interviews talking about his involvement and his administration of using performance enhancement drugs and steroids. And Lex Luger said, I'm just going by what he said, that he used to take certain PEDs such as testosterone, HGH. He said he would take it 10 days on and 10 days off. Those are his words, not mine. I'm talking about Lex Luger. I'm just still trying to figure out, how is it that Devin Haney can look like Lex Luger? How can Devin Haney look like Lex Luger when Lex Luger admittedly used steroids and performance enhancement drugs? And of course, people are saying Devin Haney is not. I'm not saying Devin Haney is. Okay? Don't lie on me. Let me show my face because I have to give a little entertainment with this. Don't lie on me and say that I'm accusing Devin Haney of using steroids and performance enhancing drugs. I'm not. Don't lie on me, because you know how gangster Bill Haney is. I'm not talking about 50 and 0 in the street gangster. I'm talking about running to the police. I'm talking about filing a lawsuit. Don't let them file no lawsuit on me. Hey, Bill, I didn't say it, man. And Rachel Donier told y'all I'm broke anyway, so you ain't gonna get nothing. And I'm still waiting for Floyd Schofield Sr. to sue me. And he ain't gonna get nothing either. All I'm trying to figure out, how can Lex Luger body look like that? Devin Haney ain't doing nothing wrong with Victor Conte, okay? The man hasn't failed a test that we know of publicly. We don't know. I'm just trying, that's just questions I have. Don't get mad at me. It's entertainment. I'm just trying to figure out how his body looked like. Let me show y'all again so we can be on the same page. How his body looked like Lex Luger. I mean, look at his obliques. I'm not a fitness guru, but I'm just saying they body look the same. And they doing the same pose. That's what I'm trying. Woo! All I'm saying is, if Devin Haney wants to take credit for his accomplishments and throw those accomplishments in other people's faces, I think he needs to include Victor Conte and the SNAC program as a part of his accomplishments. Now, somebody can push back and say, Manager Marty, how can you say, such a thing about Devin Haney, including Victor Conte and SNAC and whatever else they doing over there, into the regimen of what Devin Haney is doing based on what he's accomplished, if Devin Haney was already talented and a skilled fighter before he went to Victor Conte and SNAC? And if you say that to me, and even if you comment and say that, or email it to me, or in the live chat repeat those words, I got a question on that. And this is a question I've been asking literally for 2 years straight, like seriously. And really, this is the $1 million question. And I think if a SNAC fighter would really just answer this question, I promise you, if they legitimately, honestly answer this one question, I won't talk about SNAC another day as the viewership is increasing exponentially. I promise. I'm making a public statement. I'm on record right now. If a SNAC fighter honestly and legitimately answered this one question that I've been asking for 2 years, I promise you, I drop the whole SNAC topic and I won't speak on it ever again publicly. Y'all ready for the $1 million question? The $1 million question is this. If the SNAC fighters, all of them, are so talented and skilled before they even went to Victor Conte. You know, let's use Terence Crawford as an example. Terence Crawford, unified world champion in one division before going over to Victor Conte and SNAC. Moves up in weight, become a world champion again in the welterweight division before going to Victor Conte. Already talented, already a champion, already had major accomplishments. I got a question on that. Then what did you go over there for? What did you call Victor Conte for? If a SNAC fighter would answer that one question that I've been asking for 2 years straight, month after month after month, for 25 months straight. If they would just answer that one question, legitimately and honestly, I promise you, I'll leave the whole topic alone. So if Devin Haney wants us to acknowledge his accomplishments, which by right we should, I'm going to include Victor Conte and SNAC in it. And I think Devin Haney should, and Bill Haney should as well. That's just me. That's just me. And it's the facts, though. I can see if there was no improvement. Now, let me not use the word improvement. That's not a good enhancement. Here it is on your screen. Go on and look at it. It's on your screen now. I can see if SNAC didn't deliver on their advertisement of enhancement performance, then I wouldn't have to include them in Devin Haney's accomplishments. But go on and look at your screen. This is on SNAC System IG account, the Victor Conte SNAC program. This is Instagram. I screenshotted this like 2 years ago. Don't worry about the post followers and following. Don't worry about them numbers. That's old. I'm going to read it to you. Victor Conte's sports nutrition company. SNAC offers products that improve your level of fitness, help lose fat, build muscle, and enhance performance. That's what SNAC does for the fighters over there. And that's the performance enhancement that we see even in Devin Haney. That's all that is. So, hey, if we're going to talk about accomplishments and being acknowledged for your accomplishments, Devin Haney, you have to include Victor Conte in it, because apparently you couldn't do it on your own. That's just a fact. You needed your performances to be enhanced. And they are enhanced. So, I know people are going to get mad at me for saying that, because everybody want to jump on me and say I'm taking up for Ryan Garcia, which I'm not taking up for Ryan Garcia. I just don't want people to be hypocrites when they talk about Ryan Garcia, whether it be his comments that was opposed to black people, and whether it be him testing positive for ostarine, a performance enhancement drug, a banned substance. Don't be a hypocrite when you talk about it, okay? I'm not going to be a hypocrite. That's why I don't speak on certain topics. That's just me personally. I have to have integrity, whether I'm on YouTube or not, whether I'm on my podcast or not. I am who I am. So that's all I'm saying. Have integrity and honor when you do things. I'm not going to speak on Ryan Garcia making public statements against a black person or might use the N-word. I've used it. I'd be a hypocrite Now, I didn't use it on my podcast, and I don't allow other guests to use that word on my platform. But the point is, I used it. So I can't really speak. That's just me having integrity as a man within myself. I'd be a hypocrite if I bring that up. I'm not a black activist, and I'm not going to act like I am. So, hey, Teofimo Lopez, he used the term monkey and banana. Yes, he was referring to a black person in Terence Crawford and others. But how can I come out and criticize Teofimo Lopez for using the term monkey, referring to a black person, when Bill Haney came out and did a post calling Tank Davis a monkey? I'd be a hypocrite. So I can't speak on it. And I won't, because it makes me a hypocrite if I do. Segue me into my next point about being a hypocrite. If you are okay with Devin Haney being a part of the SNAC program and Victor Conte, and you have no evidence and proof that Victor Conte is not doing anything illegal, then you can't come out talking about Ryan Garcia had trace amounts of ostarine in his system because he intentionally cheated Devin Haney. When you know that Victor Conte has a close-knit relationship and influence with Vada. If you're okay with those two things, then you're a hypocrite for coming out talking about Ryan Garcia, when you know Ryan Garcia went through the whole Vada process. I'm just saying, to me, that's why I don't speak on it. If you okay with that, then how can you turn around and speak on that? That's just my opinion. There's no fact. It's my perspective on that. I don't believe Ryan Garcia intentionally cheated Devin Haney because of the quantity. It was trace amounts. I believe, based on research I've conducted, and I've been around this word for a long time, since it was the word ostarine. Now, if it was something else, I'd be questioning it. Ostarine has been proven for many years. Trace amounts of it have been proven for many years to be inserted in these supplements. And it is possible. I'm not saying it was. I'm just telling you, there is a huge possibility that whatever supplements Ryan Garcia was using may have had traces of ostarine in them. How do we know he was using supplements? Because that's what he has been charged and obviously convicted for, not disclosing it to VADA and, of course, the New York State Athletic Commission. Really, it was VADA. It wasn't even them. It was really, because that's the protocol of VADA. That's all I'm saying. That's just my perspective. And I think everybody should be entitled to have their perspective without being criticized for having their perspective. That's my perspective. I think that because it was ostarine, that it was something else, I wouldn't have this perspective. Traces of ostarine. That's what Ryan Garcia tested positive for. But if you're going to criticize Ryan, then you have to criticize Terence Crawford. Because you don't know, and neither do I, whether or not Terence Crawford even took any VADA testing. And if he did, you don't know if he tested positive or negative. Why don't you know that? Why don't I know that? Because VADA has not made it publicly known yet. Not just for his last fight, but for none of his professional bouts excuse me, none of his professional bouts since he's been with Victor Conte from 2021 all the way to now. Now, that's not an opinion. That's a known fact. So what I'm saying is, if you are okay with that, then how can you criticize when somebody does have a positive test, including Ryan Garcia? You can't pick and choose when you want the rules to apply. If we're going to use one standard for one fighter, that same standard should be held for all of them. If Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney should take VADA testing, so should Terence Crawford. If Victor Conte's going to post a VADA letter on his social media accounts when Devin Haney tests, right, then he should post that for all his SNAC fighters, not just Devin Haney. Have you seen Victor Conte post anything about Terence Crawford test results through VADA? You haven't? Neither did I. Okay, then. In other words, don't start acting like an anti-doping advocate because it's Ryan Garcia, but you're not an anti-doping advocate when a fighter with Victor Conte don't get tested at all or test positive and you not know about it. Don't become an anti-doping advocate when Ryan Garcia tests positive, but then when Alicia Baumgardner tests positive because she's attractive or she might be a cute lady, you know what I mean? Oh, y'all don't want to speak on it. Y'all want to give her the benefit of the doubt. Don't be an anti-doping advocate when Ryan Garcia tests positive for trace amounts, but then when Arthur Betterbeeve tested positive for trace amounts of HGH, y'all didn't speak on it. We can't keep picking and choosing when we want the rules to apply. That's all I'm not talking about nothing else, but that's all I'm saying. Don't get mad at me. This is just my perspective. My perspective. Double salute. Who that? Noop. What up, Noop Warlock? Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. Noop says in the super chat, and I quote, intentionally cheated or not, it's still cheating based on the quote unquote strict liability. Not disclosing supplements is also cheating. That is a fact. When I say intentionally cheated, let me be clear on what I'm talking about specifically. I'm talking about him taking supplements. I'm talking about Ryan Garcia taking supplements to gain an advantage inside of the fight. I'm talking about intentionally. That's what I'm talking about. Now, to your point, Newt, you said the word strict liability, quote unquote. We heard Victor Conte keep using that term. Do you even know what that means? Because I want to make sure you know what that means, Newt. Seriously. Because that's the term that Victor Conte used. I want to make sure you understand what that means. But even in that, if we're going to use the strict liability as the basis to criticize Ryan Garcia, whether he intentionally cheated or not is the whole point, right? We have to use strict liability for everybody. That's the point that I'm making. If he didn't disclose the supplements and that's a form of cheating, fine. That's a form of cheating. Great. Ryan Garcia cheated Devin Haney because he didn't disclose supplements. Doesn't matter the reason why, right? Intentionally cheated or not, right? Okay. No problem. Hold that same standard to everyone. That's all I'm saying. Keep that same energy for everyone. Clarissa Shields tested positive for trace amounts of marijuana in her system. Is there strict liability on that? All I'm saying is don't speak on the topic just because you might be a Devin Haney fan, a Devin Haney supporter, or even a Devin Haney favorite YouTube channel. Speak on all of it, because that's what I do. I speak on it all. I don't care who the professional boxer. I speak on it all. Well, I am a self-proclaimed anti-doping advocate, but I speak on it all. We can't pick and choose is all. That's the only thing I'm saying. And guess what? Devin Haney's rolling with the biggest cheater in sports. Period. Now, that's not an opinion. That is a fact. That's not an opinion. And we don't know if he's not cheating now. We don't know that. We don't have substantial proof that Victor Conte has changed his life around and he is not supplying or injecting or administering performance enhancement drugs or steroids. We don't have any evidence on that. I'm not saying he is. Hey, Bill, don't sue me because I'm not saying he is. Now, if you do sue me, you ain't going to get nothing. Because Victor, listen, Victor, Rachel Donner already, your homegirl, she already done told everybody I'm broke. You ain't gonna get it. But that's all I'm saying. To each his own. Everybody have the freedom of speech to speak on it. I'm just saying don't be a hypocrite. That's why I'm not speaking on it. Devin Haney is rolling with Victor Conte. Right? And according to the advertisement, Devin Haney performances are band enhanced. If you don't have a problem with that, then if somebody else try to enhance their performance, then don't get mad. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Because you don't know if something's illegal going on over there or not. Just like you don't know if things are going on with other fighters that's not with SNAC, illegally or not. You don't know. He rolling with Victor Conte in the SNAC program. His performances are being enhanced. All right, well, hey, that's what happened. Hey, it come with it. Don't get mad at me. It come with it. If you roll with Victor Conte and you are literally getting your performances enhanced, when somebody else wants their performances enhanced, then you can't get mad. That's really what this is all about. And I'm going to move on to Turki Al-Sheikh, Terence Crawford, and Canelo Alvarez, but I want to show my face when I talk about this topic. I'm going to digress. I don't want to get too animated this morning. But let's keep it all the way real and 100, y'all. The reason why Bill Haney is upset, the reason why Devin Haney is upset, and mainly the reason why Victor Conte is upset, I'm going to tell you really what it really boiled down to. Because if you think about it, Ryan Garcia, didn't he pay his debt to society? No, I'm talking about Ryan Garcia. He was suspended for 1 year. He was fined his entire purse of $1 million by the New York State Athletic Commission, right? He served his time. He paid his fine. Then why are we still talking about it now? Now, somebody might ask, well, why are you asking that, Manager Mark? I'm so glad you might ask that to yourself. Because every time I bring up Victor Conte, you know what my detractors say? Oh, man, that was 20 years ago. Victor Conte did his time already in jail. He served his 4 months in jail. What Camp Side say? He can be reformed. He's working on the other side now. He's one of the good guys. No proof, but that's what Champ Side said. Okay. So how come Ryan Garcia can't be reformed? He paid his debt financially, and he set out for 1 whole year and couldn't compete in the United States of America. But y'all keep bringing up his old charges. Oh, but when I bring up Victor Conte, I'm the bad guy. The reason why Victor Conte is upset, the reason why Bill Haney keeps bringing this up, the reason why Devin keeps bringing this up, the reason why Victor Conte keeps bringing this up and they're all upset, I'm going to tell you the real reason why. Yes, it is because Ryan Garcia tested positive for Asterine. Yes. But check this out. Why do they keep bringing it up now? I know why already, and I'm going to tell you right now. It's because of the fact that they had no control over it. What do I mean by that? You ain't going to find this nowhere else. You're not going to find this point nowhere else. That's why I'm glad all of y'all here. What I mean by that? I simply mean that Victor Conte's role is to make sure that none of the SNAC fighters' opponents are getting their performances enhanced against them. Did y'all hear me? You want me to say it again? Okay. Let me break it down and reframe it a little bit. Victor Conte's role is to ensure his SNAC fighters, one of the added benefits, one of the added value that I can provide you when you hire me is the security in knowing that your opponent is not going to have their performances enhanced, but I'm going to help you get your performances enhanced. And the way that we're going to hold that opponent accountable is through my relationship, influence, and partnership with the testing agency. Let's just be honest and call it what it is. Now, don't get mad at me. This is facts. Because you don't hear nobody else bringing up Arthur Beterbeef's test results, his analytical findings. You don't hear nobody talking about that anymore, do you? Nope. And he looked different. Didn't he look different in that first Bibble fight? A year after he tested positive for a banned substance? Oh, okay. You don't hear anybody else bringing up Alicia Baumgartner's positive tests for PEDs, do you? She ain't get a knockdown since. But people keep bringing up and regurgitating Ryan Garcia. Right? Even after he served the 1 year suspension. Even after he paid the $1 million fine, they still keep bringing his charges up. Still keep doing interviews about it. Huh? Still keep producing content on YouTube about it. That's because Victor Conte and SNAC couldn't control it. And it had a devastating effect on their number one fighter, the one who had the longest tenure actively fighting under SNAC and with SNAC, Devin Haney. That's facts. It's just the truth. Double salute to Newt. He did another super chat again. Thank you, Newt, for your contribution to the channel. Let me see if I can pull it up. Because oh, there you go, right here. Here it is. In the super chat, Noop says, keep the same standard. Not just Conte associated fighters, right? Then why aren't you asking for Boots or Tank's test results? Is Tank on VADA's website? That's a good question, man. I'm going to answer it right here. The SNAC fighters are not the only fighters that you hear me talk about, Noop. You might have not heard, but I got thousands of people watching live and living color and the replay is live that will attest and affirm that I've talked about other professional boxers who's associated with the steroid PD distributors. I can just say in their past because we don't have any proof that they're still doing it now, like Memo Heredia. You know, David Benavidez had Memo Heredia in a few of his camps. Yeah, I've been speaking on that. In fact, since we're talking about Canelo today, I'll go another step further to tell you that's the reason why hey, listen, I spoke on this publicly right here on my podcast on numerous occasions. I personally believe, this is just my opinion, I personally believe that that's the reason why Canelo Alvarez won't fight David Benavidez. That's just my personal opinion. And I've said it time and time again on right here. I believe Canelo Alvarez won't fight David Benavidez because David Benavidez has a known association with Memo Heredia. And Memo Heredia is from Mexico. And that's where he was getting most of his substances from when he was living with his father out there. And even when he was in America. And we know Canelo is from Mexico. So they know what's going on. Believe that. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Anybody that's associated with anyone who is... I did a video on Pacquiao 2 years ago, bringing up Alex Ariza and how that debacle happened when Alex Ariza was in Pacquiao's camp, all them fights. And guess what? I brought up just a few months ago when David Benavidez had Alex Ariza in his camp when he fought Ronald Gavril in that rematch and how different he looked. Go back and ask people that's in the chat that was here. So it's not just the SNAC fighters I'm speaking on. I'm a self-proclaimed anti-doping advocate. And I think I've been doing a great job based on almost 16 years of investigative research on all three of those guys I just mentioned. Victor Conte, Alex Ariza, and Memo Heredia. It's not too many things anybody can really say to me about those guys and what they were doing and what some of them might still be doing. I don't know. But all I'm saying is, it's not just the SNAC fighters. But we all know that when you say SNAC, everybody know what that means at this point. SNAC has name recognition. And so does Victor Conte. If I told a boxing fan about Alex Ariza, they might say, well, who? But if I told a boxing fan, do you know who Devin Haney is? Do you know who Terence Crawford is? Do you know who Caleb Plant is? The average boxing fan who's a hardcore would know who those fighters are. If I say SNAC, you'll know who that is. You know what that represents. Now, some of you probably didn't know too much about it until you were educated from me in this platform. But the bottom line is, SNAC has name recognition. I mean, you see more SNAC in most of the fights, most of the high-profile fights. The trainers are wearing the paraphernalia in their attire. They wearing T-shirts, hats, and interviews. Bo Mac, he doing posts talking about SNAC. I mean, you see SNAC all around. So it's easier for me to talk about those fighters because those fighters have more fights out of a year. It's not like I'm picking and choosing. But look, I had Victor Conte here. I already reached out to Memo Heredia to come over on the platform. I didn't get a response. So I'm not targeting these guys or ladies. But when their performances are enhanced and you don't have a problem with it, don't get mad at me. Their performances are being enhanced. That's just the reality of it. You're saying, why am I not asking for boots? Let me answer that. I don't have to ask for boots. You know, I can call Bozy and them on the phone or go to their gym right now. Okay, not right at this moment, but anytime. They're my guys. All I'm saying is I don't have to ask about it. He's not rolling with Victor Conte. I'm talking about Boots. Did you see Boots in his gym? Same question I asked Champside when he did that video on Boots and Victor Conte and SNAC. Did y'all see Boots in California in the SNAC gym? Nope. You see him wearing the oxygen mask? Nope. Okay then. You see him on the website? I pointed this out 2 years ago. Was he on the website? You know, on the SNAC.com that has a list of athletes that they sponsor. You ever seen Boots on there? His picture or his name? Never. I don't have to ask about Boots. He's not associated with Victor Conte or affiliated with SNAC. Now, whether he had an endorsement deal or not, which he did, that's their business. I'm not speaking on that. That had nothing to do with me. You said Tank test results. I don't have any knowledge of Tank test results or Tank being on VADA's website. But what difference does that make? Victor Conte is flaunting VADA around. Bill Haney is flaunting VADA around. Not tanking them. Not PBC. And according to Victor Conte, Noop, and I'm sure you probably saw the video, Victor Conte said that PBC have a muzzle rule. That's what Victor said. Where PBC fighters don't get acknowledged on VADA's website. I'm just going by what that man said. But what does that have to do with Devin Haney? We're not talking about Boots. I'm not talking about Boots. I'm not talking about Tank Davis. I'm talking about Devin Haney. And I'm talking about Devin Haney looking like this. Hey, Noop, I'm not mad at you. I appreciate your support, man. But go and look at your screen, Noop. Look at this real quick. I want to show you something. I just try to figure out how his body looked like this with Mayweather before Victor. And then like Les Luger. Let me do like this. Bam. I want you to see that. That's all I'm just asking. I'm just asking the question, man. Don't get mad at us. That's all. It's just a question. And I have another question. How come when I talk to Victor, I'm just asking, when I talk to the man, I talk to him on 2 separate occasions for a total of 5 hours, 3 hours in one interview or dialogue and 2 hours in another one. And I've caught him lying to my face. Why? What are people lying for? So when you keep asking about why I keep talking about SNAC fighters, no, it's just the behavior patterns are extremely questionable by all of them. Their performances are being enhanced. And no one knows on the outside world whether or not it's being enhanced legally or illegally. So that's why I keep speaking on it. I'm not picking and choosing, bro. I'm going to talk about it all. Just like I'm about to talk about the guys on your screen right now, Turki Al-Sheikh and Terence Crawford. I mean, I could have posted a picture where Turki Al-Sheikh was holding Terence Crawford's hands. And in that same picture where Terence Crawford curled his fingers up in that handshake, I don't know. But the bottom line is that Turki Al-Sheikh is the Eric Bischoff of boxing. And I want everybody to understand that. Turki Al-Sheikh is the Eric Bischoff of boxing. Why do I say that? Turki Al-Sheikh is basically doing the same thing in some respects, not all aspects, but in some respects, the same thing that Eric Bischoff did. Eric Bischoff, the former executive of World Championship Wrestling, WCW. Follow me. We're talking about wrestling right now. I'm trying to prove a point. Eric Bischoff did not pay Hulk Hogan to come to WCW. Eric Bischoff didn't pay Macho Man Randy Savage to come over to WCW from the WWF, now known as WWE. Eric Bischoff didn't pay Bret Hart and Lex Luger. I mean, I can go on and on. And Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, known as Diesel and Razor Ramon. Eric Bischoff didn't take out his wallet and extract money from his personal bank account. That was Ted Turner's money. The owner of multiple television network stations, including CNN and TBS and TNT. Ted Turner, billionaire Ted Turner. So all I'm trying to say is that's the same thing that's happening with Turki Al-Sheikh. Turki Al-Sheikh is not pulling out his wallet and paying these professional boxers. And I keep telling people that, and some people believe me, but most people don't. Turki Al-Sheikh is not paying these professional boxers to compete on the Riyadh season cards or these Ring Magazine events with his own personal money. Please stop the cap. If you don't believe me, go back. They may not have it recorded on YouTube, but you can go on DAZN probably. I'm sure they may have. I don't have DAZN, but if you do, go back on DAZN, right? And watch the replay of the May 2nd, 2025 event where all six of those fighters competed. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Arnold Barboza, Jose Ramirez, Rolly Romero, all those guys, go back and listen to the ring announcer, Hall of Fame ring announcer, Michael Buffer. He said this bout is sponsored by PIF. He didn't say this bout was sponsored by, or this event is sponsored by Turki Al-Sheikh. He mentioned the source of the fiduciary. You see my point? Turki Al-Sheikh is writing the check with other people's money from the PIF. I mean, we already know this, don't we? Right? Okay, then. The Public Investment Fund, right? That's the Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund. They say it is estimated to have assets of around $930 billion. And it's used for entertainment purposes as well. And I believe the agenda, and I've been saying this for a few years now, is to monopolize and globalize sports. A one world sports government is what I believe the agenda is in Saudi Arabia. But once again, that's not Turki Al-Sheikh's money. He's playing with the house money, y'all. I'm saying all of that to say that people give more credit and credence to Turki Al-Sheikh changing boxing and doing something that is so great in boxing by paying these fighters the money that they deserve, right? He's overpaying the fighters. He's good for boxing. He's great. This is what I've been hearing lately about Turki Al-Sheikh. And I'm cool with it. I'm okay with people having that perspective. I really am. The issue I have with that is, though, that the same people that's praising Turki Al-Sheikh for quote-unquote overpaying boxers, some of them were the same ones criticizing Al Heyman for overpaying boxers. Y'all remember that? Some of y'all might not remember that. Some of y'all may have forgotten about that. But people were criticizing Al Heyman and PBC, saying that, oh, the PBC fighters only fight once a year because they're broke. I've heard Blue Blood Sports TV say that. Somebody sent me a clip on that, not about a year or two ago, but I think it was I think it was like 2 years ago or something like that, when I was going back and forth with him. I heard other people saying it. Hey, Rick Glaser even said it to me. Rick Glaser actually said it to me. Some of y'all remember when Rick Glaser was here? Y'all don't remember that? Let me see if I can pull up the audio. Hold on for a second. I found it. I already had the tape queued up. Let's go back to August of 2023, almost 2 years ago, when Rick Glaser came on this platform, the Road to Take podcast, right here in front of me. And I had a dialogue with Rick Glaser. And yes, it didn't end well. But the bottom line is Rick Glaser was criticizing Al Heyman. He was disrespectful to Al Heyman. He criticized PBC fighters. Let's go back and roll the tape on the dialogue between myself and Rick Glaser, where he talked about fighters being overpaid. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape. Now, Mr. Rick, let's get back to something you said. You and I both know the business of boxing very well. Of course, you have a lot of more experience than I do when it comes to the game. But I'll tell you, I'm one of the shrewdest guys in this business. Now, we know the business. You mentioned the word nobodies. You said earlier that, you know, PBC, Al Heyman, the promoters, etc., have put their fighters in the ring with nobodies and overpaid them. Isn't it customary that all promoters put their up-and-coming stars in the ring with quote-unquote, as you call them, nobodies to build them up?
No, that's not never my point.
Is it customary, though? Is it customary in the business?
Yes, but that wasn't my point.
Okay.
My point was that he overpaid his fighters greatly to fight nobodies. Was the statement
that sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a good thing, if you ask me.
No, it wasn't a good thing because now it backfired on him. He ran out of money. PBC owes $900 million.
I'm going to stop right there. Let's do an audio check. Shall we? Live chat. Did y'all hear that? I just want to make sure we're on the same page. If you're watching the replay of this live, you can comment in the comment section below right now. I just want to make sure we're on the same page now. Did everyone hear that? It's just yes or no in the chat, please. I just need to I just want to make sure we all heard that now. That was Rick Glazer. I just want to make sure. Did y'all hear that? Okay, I did have one person say yes. That's good enough. I'm going to play it again for the people that's sitting in the back of the classroom with their head down, sleeping. And then going to come in late. I'm going to play it again now. This is me and Rick Glazer. Let's go back to what he said August of 2023 about fighters being over. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
Now, Mr. Rick, let's get back to something you said. You and I both know the business of boxing very well. Of course, you have a lot of more experience than I do when it comes to the game. But I'll tell you, I'm one of the shrewdest guys in this business. Now, we know the business. You mentioned the word nobodies. You said earlier that, you know, PBC, Al Heyman, the promoters, etc., have put their fighters in the ring with nobodies and overpaid them. Isn't it customary that all promoters put their up-and-coming stars in the ring with quote-unquote, as you call them, nobodies to build them up?
No, that's never my point.
Is it customary, though? Is it customary in the business?
Yes, but that wasn't my point.
Okay.
My point was that he overpaid his fighters greatly to fight nobodies. Was the statement
that sounds like a good idea. That sounds like a good thing, if you ask me.
No, it wasn't a good thing because now it backfired on him. He ran out of money. PBC owes $900 million to White Owl Reed.
Did y'all hear that? You did? Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I show my face to say that part. Wow. What a difference 2 years make. So in August of 2023, Rick Glazer, you just heard him say that Al Heyman and PBC overpaid their fighters to fight, quote unquote, nobodies. You actually heard my voice. You heard my voice. My voice, you heard it. I said, sounds like a good idea to me because I am actually promoting the integrity of the business of boxing. And Rick Glazer knew that's what I was implying. Rick Glazer said it's not a good thing for professional boxers to be overpaid to fight overmatched opponents. When it was the black guy, the black man, Al Heyman, it wasn't good. But now when Turki Al-Sheikh does it, he's great for boxing. I'm not criticizing Rick Glazer right now because Rick Glazer is on record. I heard him recently say that Turki Al-Sheikh is doing a great job. And he's great for the sport of boxing and everything that he's been doing. But I'm not talking about Rick right now. My point is to everyone else that was running on Rick's gravy train with the whole anti-PBC movement that has been going on the YouTube boxing community for years. They're praising Turki Al-Sheikh for doing the same thing that Rick Glazer told me was not good for business. Now, somebody can say, Manager Marty, where's your proof? That Turki Al-Sheikh has paid professional boxers to fight overmatched opponents, and hold on. Terence Crawford fought a guy named Israel Madrimov who had 11 professional fights, and 90% of all of us boxing fans did not know who he was. Last minute replacement or not, Shakur Stevenson just got finished on the Riyadh season card fighting an overmatched opponent by the name of who? Josh Padley. I'm not criticizing Josh Padley or Israel Madrimov. They get all of my support and credit for being professional boxers. It's the hardest hustle in America. My point, though, is the level of competition has been overmatched. I mean, let's just keep it 100. I mean, Devin Haney, I know he's flashing his money, buying new jewelry. That's his business. I don't care what he do with his money. My point is, he was fighting an overmatched opponent so that he can look good in an effort to fight Ryan Garcia in the next fight. These are facts. So it was good when Turkey do it. It's cool when Turkey do it. Anthony Joshua fought Ngannou. Overmatched opponent. So it's cool when Turki Al-Sheikh overpay fighters to fight overmatched opponents, or Rick Glaser called them quote unquote nobodies. But when PBC and Al Heyman fighters, and guess what? They wasn't fighting nobodies. You heard what Adrian Broner said a few years back. He said, when you fight for PBC, oh, you're going to get paid a lot of money, but you're going to have to go fight Godzilla. But hey, according to Rick Glaser's theory, and all of the YouTube channels that are pro-Rick Glaser, that are anti-PBC, now they saying Turki Al-Sheikh is great. Well, didn't Terence Crawford fight in August of 2024? He about to fight in September, they said, right? Or October or something like that, right? They said he about to fight in September, right? For another Mexican holiday, right? Mexican Independence Weekend is it? Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are supposed to be fighting in September of this year, correct? Wouldn't that make Terence Crawford inactive for over 1 year? But when PBC fighters was fighting once a year, Rick Glaser, Blue Balls, Blueberry, aka Blue Blood, and the rest of them was criticizing PBC fighters for fighting once a year. But here it is, Terence Crawford was fighting once a year when he was with ESPN in Top Rank, and he's about to fight once a year again for Turki Al-Sheikh. He fought against Madrimov last August. And come this September, it'll be 1 year under Turki Al-Sheikh. Oh, but Turkey's great for boxing. But Rick Glaser said this in that same interview. I'm not going to play the clip. In the same conversation. Oh, man, he screwed up somebody else's money. That wasn't his money. That was Waddell Reed's money. Well, Turki Al-Sheikh ain't paying with his own money either. He's paying through the PIF fund, other people's investment money. Oh, but he get praised, right? Oh, but when the black man Al Heyman was, you hypocrites. That's why I don't speak on certain topics. Being hypocrites. Stop being hypocrites, y'all. It was bad when the black man Al Heyman did it, using Waddell Reed's money, right? And people were saying PBC fighters was fighting once a year. It was bad for business when Al Heyman and PBC was doing it. But when the Saudis come over here and snatch the American fighters and bring them over to Saudi for their entertainment and pleasure, to build up their country and quote unquote overpay them to fight overmatched opponents, Turki Al-Sheikh is the best thing since sliced bread. See, that's why I let other content creators shoot their load first. Because I knew nobody else was going to bring the point up that I'm bringing up now because I own the content when Rick Glaser came over here and criticized Al Heyman and criticized PBC fighters for competing once a year. And 2 years later, people are praising Turki Al-Sheikh. Lord have mercy. Once again, if we're going to use a standard in boxing for one topic and one situation and one fighter, we have to use that same standard for everyone else, including Turk